Morning, everyone. This is Ankita from the Era Yoga Wellness team. I welcome you all to Being Yoga, India's biggest virtual wellness festival. And before I introduce Simon, just let me tell you all that this is a charity-driven festival. The proceeds go to support India's fight against COVID-19. So I urge you all to please show some support, show your love, go donate on our Facebook page. We are raising these funds for Goonj, which is an NGO for migrant workers. And I think they're the worst affected by this lockdown. So even a small contribution will make a huge impact. So please go donate. And through this live streaming, we are reaching close to approximately 1 million people through Paytm, Facebook, Shimaru, and other platforms that this festival is being live streamed on. And now coming to this interesting workshop, I have a very special guest joining me all the way from Australia, Simon Borg Olivier. I'm very privileged and very humbled to have him here with us. Simon is a world-renowned yoga teacher. He's a physiotherapist, research scientist, a university lecturer. He's the co-director of Yoga Synergy, one of Australia's most respected yoga school. Simon has studied with some revered Indian teachers like B.K. Iyengar, K. Patabi Joyce, T.K. Vidyasakachar. Teaching for 38 years, Simon is a yoga legend who has not only mastered yoga but also breathing, movement, exercise, and pranayams. I welcome you, Simon. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. And, so before moving to the yoga class, Simon, I would like to ask a few questions. So I read this quote by you, which said, yoga, most of the people who are practicing yoga are overstretching, over-tensing, over-breathing, overthinking, followed by overeating. So I would love for you to elaborate on this a bit.
Yes, well, can you hear me okay like this?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for your kind introduction. Thank you for Era Wellness for inviting me. I am honored by your beautiful presentation. I'm not a master. I've just been doing it for a long time and I'm still working on it. But hopefully I can share something with everyone. And so, yes, please ask. And then I need to set up my camera a little bit to make sure people can see me. But while we're talking, I'll stay close here.
Okay, so I was asking that, I've read this quote by you, which says most people are practicing yoga, but it is overstretching, but they're actually overstretching, over-tensing, over-breathing, overthinking, followed by overeating. So if you could just, elaborate a bit on this, that what do you mean by this?
Okay, well, I gave a title to my talk, and that was how you can use posture, movement, breathing, and mental control to really create yoga, not just on a personal level, but also for your life, for your family connections, for the community, and for the earth. And so when I'm talking about exercise, it's okay. You can stretch, you can tense muscles. You can breathe a lot, you can make your heart race. But if you're talking about yoga on a global level, I thought that yoga was the recognition that we are connected individually with our universal consciousness. So the Atman and Para-Atman are one, that the individual consciousness is one with the universal consciousness. And to really recognize that and make your yoga practice come to life in your life, then I think what we need to do is recognize that everyone in the world is connected as one family. And if you really love your family and treat a family like it should be, everyone should treat each other nicely. Nicely means in the manner of yama and niyama, giving a gentle, balanced giving of nourishing communication and freedom as yama, getting rid of the blockages of happiness and loving connection, making that inner quest as a type of niyama. And when we do that within ourselves, then it's much easier to do it with other people. So when you feel stretch is the step just before pain. Pain is the step just before injury. So if you can practice and get flexible without stretching, it's much better. When you feel tension is the stage of a muscle which causes stress, which is the step just before the flight or fight response comes on, the step just before you fail. And so if you can get strong without feeling tense, it's a lot better. And when you get your heart rate to go up, although that might improve blood flow, as soon as your heart rate goes up, you enter a state of flight or fight. And the state of flight or fight, the nervous system state called the sympathetic nervous system dominance, is a place where you turn off your immune system, your digestive system, your reproductive system, and all your internal organs go towards fighting or running away from a perceived enemy. At that time, your internal dominant emotional state on a subconscious level will be fear, anger, aggression, lack of safety, lack of trust. That's the opposite of yama and niyama. So what I'm suggesting is make blood flow without your heart racing. Is that possible? Yes. Then similarly with breathing, the less you breathe, the more you breathe like when you're asleep, the calmer you are, the more relaxed you are, and the more it is like that regenerative thing we do in our life, the most regenerative thing, which is sleep. And so if you want to really regenerate your body, breathe less, not more. Now, if I say in the West that we should breathe less and keep our heart rate low, everyone in the West says, oh no, you should get your heart rate up, you should breathe more. But everyone in India knows that the yogi counts their life not by the number of years they live, but by the number of beats their heart makes and the number of breaths they take. And that's why I'm saying for most people, they are over-breathing, over-tensing, over-stretching, overthinking often. Meditation is a place where the vrittis of the mind are reduced. So I'm going to try and get you to do a practice in a short time where I will talk in the beginning, but the talking part's the not yoga, it's the learning yoga. Then for the second part of my class, I'm going to stop talking, turn on a bit of music, and you'll just follow us. And when following us, I want you not to think so much and just be in a more meditative state. And a meditative state is one of sustainability, effortlessness, calmness, mental engagement, where you're in the present moment feeling connected, but not feeling racing or stressed. And at the same time, blood must be flowing. See, many people think that meditation is about sitting and just being still, not thinking. No, meditation really would be like an Indian yogi sitting on Mount Kailash or something in the Himalaya, and they're sitting naked in the snow and they're meditating, but part of that meditation is they're able to remain really warm in a freezing cold environment. So unless you're connecting your body with good circulation, that's not meditation. Because meditation is about oneness. Yoga is about oneness. So oneness means that the fingertips should have as much blood as the heart. And if they have less blood than the heart, then you're not at one. So also our body is not one consciousness. It's a group consciousness of 50 trillion individual cells, each of which having their own individual consciousness. And perfect health is when every cell of the body treats every other cell of the body with yama and niyama. Every cell treats every other cell with love, sharing good energy and sharing loving information, the same way a mother treats a young baby. And if you can do that inside yourself, then it's a much easier way to learn how to do it to other people, and then also to do it with the earth, your community, your family. So this is why I think don't go for stretching. If your aim is to stretch and you want to be more flexible, why not be happy with how you are? If your aim is to get stronger, you're not happy with how you are. Why not be happy with how you are? If your aim is to be more fit, well, that's an okay objective, but why not be happy with how you are? Isn't yoga about being happy how we are right here and now the way we are? You don't have to do anything to get yoga. Just recognize that we're already connected. But to help you connect, I'm going to give you a simple practice that will try and give you strength without feeling tense, blood flow without the heart racing, energy without having to breathe so much, flexibility without stretching, and relaxation without having to lie on the floor. And hopefully an intelligent practice without having to think so much. Then I think we get in a state we can call meditation and yoga. That's my short answer.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. And just one more question before we begin with the practice. So, what is the yoga synergy style? So, I've noticed, I've watched your videos. I've not been fortunate enough to practice with you in person till yet. But then I've noticed that a lot of spine undulation and arm twisting. You focus on micro movements. So, can you, maybe throw some light on that? What is the reason behind that?
Oh, well, I'll give you the reason as we practice and a little bit now,
Okay.
but just basically the yoga synergy system was devised by Bianca Matchless and myself. It's just simply the name of our school, that's all. But the synergy idea was that we tried to get a synthesis between our understanding of traditional yoga as taught to traditional yogis in traditional cultures and how it relates to the modern body in the modern everyday life. You see, even in India now, most people don't squat to sit, they sit on chairs. Now, most people don't walk, they drive cars. And most people don't carry things on their head anymore. Whereas traditional cultures did all those things, making the traditional yoga postures very easy and accessible. But if a modern body person starts doing traditional yoga postures, they get problems. And so what we've done is tried to take into account the anatomy and physiology of the modern body and how we can incorporate traditional yoga principles anatomically, physiologically, emotionally, and mentally, and spiritually, to get to traditional yoga and modern fusion happening together. So some of the postures will look a little bit, that I give you, will look a little bit like traditional yoga, but a lot of them are much simpler. I keep them very, very simple. We have, of course, more advanced practices in Yoga Synergy, which look exactly like traditional Hatha Yoga, but I find they're just not really presentable to most people. So what I'm going to give today is a really simple practice. And the reason why I do it is because all movement should start from the core. So I'm going to get you to move your core, which is the base of your spine, it's the khanda. And with that, I'll get people to move their spine. And also some of the more micro movements you're talking about, things like this. These are mudras, which relate to nerve tensioning and the lengthening of acupuncture meridians. You don't often see them in modern yoga, but they're in all the cave painting walls and ancient texts of Kathakali, Kalaripayat, Malakam, and all the wonderful traditional Indian systems. So I believe they're part of traditional yoga, but most of modern yoga has missed it.
Oh, beautiful, Simon. So let's start with the practice, and
All right.
I'm sure it'll
Now,
be a beautiful
I've
class.
got, bless you, I've got till 2:15. Is that correct? I've got another 45 minutes rather my time.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
correct?
yes,
And so
yes.
did you want me to finish a few minutes earlier to answer questions? Is that what I was supposed to do?
If time permits, we can take some questions at the end. Maybe
All right. Okay. So
two, 3
can you
minutes.
put me on, can I make it so my screen is now dominant so I can see
Yes,
myself to position my mat? Will you put me on the main screen in that case?
yes, I would do that.
Do that. And then what I can do, I'll come here, Jennifer. This is Jennifer, Jeanette, and she is going to be helping me
Namaste,
teach the
Jennifer.
class.
Thank you.
She's an authorized synergy teacher as well. And so I'm really happy to have her
Thank you.
demonstrating. And that way you can see two
Thank you
angles
so
of the
much.
practice. You'll see her mainly from the side and me from the front or back. Go over there. And if you change the screen, then I can see whether we're being visible on the screen. So all I can see is I can see your body is the biggest part of the screen, and
Okay.
mine's not so big.
Now,
So how can we make that different? I'm putting it on speaker view. Is that a good idea?
yeah, speak of
No,
you, yeah.
not much better. I'm on speaker view. Or maybe I should do share screen. No, I don't want to share screen. No, it's not actually
No,
working.
speak
It
of you.
still says no. For some
No,
reason,
I
all I
think
can see is a
no,
tiny,
I can
tiny
see
version
you.
of me.
You are big on the screen. No, but we can see
Yeah,
you.
but I've got to go
You're
back.
on the
Go on
screen.
the other mat. So just putting Jennifer back. Go further back, further back. Just have to make sure she's visible. Can you see Jennifer right now?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay. Let me see, just there. That's probably better. That you can see her like that?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on, that is. So yeah, I think you can. Okay, so in that case, I think we're okay to start. Can you tell me, Ankita, if you can't hear me at some point, and then we'll begin now.
Sure.
So we're okay to begin?
Right.
We're okay to begin. Now, normally for a beautiful presentation like this, I would have started off wearing a nice suit, but I knew we were going to do a class, and so I wear my shorts, and I hope you don't mind. And I've also asked Jennifer to wear something where you can see her body, because part of what we're going to do with you is a very visual practice. You see, talking in a yoga practice will stimulate the left brain, but the visual instructions go to the right brain. And what we want to access our subconscious mind is to access both sides of the brain. So I'm going to ask people doing this practice to be always following us and look at what we're doing. So we're going to give you a simple practice of 8 main trunk postures or 8 main spinal movements, and then we're going to give you a couple of practices where we combine these movements. We're going to do this practice twice. The first time I'm going to instruct it and you'll follow as best as you can, and the second time I'll do it without instructions and just I'll play some music in the background and you follow us. So please don't do anything which feels uncomfortable. Now this whole practice could be done, if you like, sitting on a chair, but if you can, stand, and we can begin now. Stand with your knees a bit bent and lower the sitting bones. Keep facing towards us. Now you'll see Jennifer will always be on a side view, and I'll sometimes be a side view, but sometimes I'll face you to see different angles. So in this case, I want your knees a little bit bent. If you bend them too far, it might be painful, so bend them just a little bit, enough that you can drop your sitting bones down like a weight on a string, which is the spine, and so you feel length in the lower back. Then move the body weight forward so the front of the hips move toward the toes, and you'll feel length at the front of the hips and also weight in the front of the feet. Then lengthen the lower back and upper back and bring the arms out in front like I'm doing here. So now you've got the whole back of your spine lengthened, the shoulders pulling apart and lengthened to the tips of the fingers. Now this is the difficult version. I can make it more difficult by bending the knees, less difficult by straightening the knees more. You can do the same. And like I said, you can sit in a chair. What you can also do, because this will become challenging, is you could be like Jennifer and stay up high, or you could come like me and come much lower down like this. This is easier on the shoulders. So as we're doing this, our main aim will be to move good energy and loving information through the body, which will be a model for our life. And when you get good energy moving through the body, that's healthy blood flow without the heart racing, and loving information going through the body, that's a dominance of your parasympathetic nervous system, the opposite of the fight or flight response. That will mean that the immune system works well, digestive, reproductive system works well, and your dominant internal motions will be love and peace, contentment, trust, and safety. So don't over-tense, overstretch, over-breathe, overthink. What I want you to do is just to move very actively using your body. Don't use gravity to drop your arm or momentum to throw up your arm. Don't pull one arm with the other. Use your own muscles to move very, very gently without tension. I want you to move from the core, not lock your core, move from the core. I want you to have the core, which is between the navel and the pubic bone, inside. I want you to find the point between the top of your hips and your tailbone, around L5, S1, inside. It's between your pelvic floor and your diaphragm, inside. That central point, I'll call the core. In India, you call it Khanda. In China, they call it Dantian. In Australian indigenous cultures, they call it the Nadu Kuru. And so this place, the core, is where all movement should start from. So when we move, I don't want you to move your abdomen. I don't want you to move your hand from one side to the next. I want you to move your core first, hand second. I don't want you to lift your chin up first. I want you to expand the belly before lifting the chin. So I'm going to ask you to do 4 things. 1 is move actively. 2 is move from the core. 3 is breathe naturally. And 4 is move fluidly. When I say breathe naturally, I want you to breathe like when you're asleep. Surprisingly, when you start doing this in this practice, it will create a very simple type of pranayama, because the movements will create a natural rhythm in your breath. But for you, just breathe naturally. Don't think about the breath, except occasionally just to check that there's 5 things in the breath. 1 is that the inhalation is low, exhalation is passive. There's not much of that breath. You don't have to think about it, and you breathe through the nose. So what we'll do is check we relax. In this position first, check. Your fingers can move like the fronds of a sea anemone. So lengthen your fingers and then check they can move. And what I'm going to do to facilitate the movements and the instructions, especially when I'm not talking, is I'm going to make an audible click sound. And my click means follow me subject to feeling good. Later I won't talk. So move your fingers, check they're lengthened, just to check they're lengthened and relax. Second place to help you relax is to keep your shoulders apart, stop your fingers, and check the shoulders can gently roll, and that will help move blood and also to help you release the tension around the shoulders. Make sure your shoulders feel relaxed. Make sure they feel free. Freedom is aparigraha, non-attached, not stuck. Then check the neck is lengthened. You bring your head down, neck back slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Bring your throat forward, chin up slightly, lengthen the front of the neck, and then check your neck is free. You know, I broke my neck when I was 20, and then luckily in my mid-20s I went to India and I learned to move my neck like so many Indian people do, and it helped my neck so much. So I want you to check your neck is lengthened and your neck can move very gently so it's free. A lot of tension is held in the neck. The fourth place is check that your sitting bones feel like they're moving slightly apart towards your toes. And check that between the sitting bones, your pelvic floor is as relaxed as it can be. So don't over-tense the pelvic floor unless you have a problem there. Let it go as much as you can and feel the breath start from that point. Now, when I do that, what I want you to do is make sure the hips are free. So make your pelvic floor relaxed and move your pelvis in a little circle like this. That helps free the hips and the pelvic floor and move blood. Then the fifth thing is check your back is lengthened and check your abdomen can comfortably inhale and passively exhale. See, my abdomen is totally soft here. Now, when we're doing this, what I'll do and what Jennifer will do will be to roll the abdomen like this. Now, not everyone can do that. If you can, do it. But you don't have to. It's enough just to inhale to the abdomen and exhale passively. Now notice when I pull my lower abdomen in, none of my abdomen is hardening. So often you hear in exercise classes, draw your lower abdomen in. But if you harden the abdomen to do that, you'll lose benefits. So either breathe into your abdomen or move and roll your abdomen. And then the sixth thing is check your face is relaxed. So when I make a click here, it means check your jaw is relaxed, move it a bit, your lips relax, move them a bit, and your eyes can blink and your inner eyes can roll. So even this will start to move blood. And now we'll come to the second position. Bring down the arms, move fluidly means move gracefully in a smooth flow. Lengthen the lower back, lengthen the upper back, lift the shoulders forward and up as far as you can go, check the neck is relaxed, and choose to stay here if you wish. Or, if it's comfortable for your arm, keep the shoulders up and take the elbows and arms as high as you can up. So this position is the position that I'll ask you to do. But once you learn this, so please stay there, this position will eventually replace and help you do the downward facing dog. But for here now, just keep your arms up. And we're going to go again. Lengthen your fingers. Check the fingers can move. Move your shoulders as far away from the base of the neck, go forward and up, and check the shoulders can comfortably roll a little bit. Now stop your shoulders, check the neck is lengthened and relaxed, and check the neck could gently move, not to stretch it, just to see it's free. Fourth thing, check that your sitting bones are moving apart towards your toes and the pelvic floor is relaxed. Then check your pubic bone can do a little gentle circle like this. Fifth thing, check your lower back is lengthened and upper back lengthened, chest lifted, abdomen expanded, and check you can breathe into your abdomen or gently make the abdomen roll like we are. Breathing into the abdomen, letting it expand and soften, and letting it passively exhale is enough when we do this. Then the sixth thing is to check your face is relaxed, so move your jaw, lips, blink a few times and roll your eyes for that. These are all accessing the 12 bridges between conscious and unconscious, and what you start to feel probably by now is warm. Third position, push the pubic bone up and bring the navel forward and down, and then bring the shoulders down and forward. Now keep your eyes looking straight ahead at me, and do that by expanding the abdomen and moving your throat forward, chin up. Make sure you're not comfortable, and make sure your pubic bone is under your collarbone. Your pubic bone and collarbone have come closer together, and the abdomen is relaxed here, and then from there, check again. Fingers are lengthened, but they can move. Shoulders apart, and the shoulders can roll. Neck lengthened, so expand the belly, throat forward, chin up, so the eyes are on me, and the neck is free. Then pelvis relaxed, pelvic floor soft. Check the pubic bone can gently roll. Then back lengthened. Check the tummy can breathe or roll. Passive breath out. Then check the face is relaxed. Very good. Then this position, you stay here for a few moments longer. It's a funny looking position, but this can relieve a lot of lower back pain, especially if you lengthen the lower back. Not like slumping on a chair, but lengthen the skin of the lower back. Pubic bone up, top of hips back, ribs back, navel out. Now this position will eventually teach you how to do this posture and all of the forward bends. It will eventually teach you a half handstand. Fourth position, we keep the back lengthened. Now we lengthen the front. Pubic bone down and forward, belly up, collarbone up, and move the shoulders back, turn the shoulders out, and then open the wrists. So you lengthen the front of the wrists. This tensions the lung meridian. Also the median nerve coming out of the brachial plexus of the neck. From here, if you can, keep the collarbone lifting, the sitting bones dropping, and move the pubis slightly forward as you lean back. Now from here, keep the chin in and the neck slightly back, jaw relaxed, and check again. Fingers can move, shoulders can roll, neck is free, pelvic floor relaxed, hips can roll, the abdomen can breathe, and the face is soft. Now, when you do this properly, the front should be firm, the side should be soft. And if yours are tense, it means you're too tense. So relax more. See how my front is firm, my sides are soft. Stay here, because this is what you want to feel. Stay here. That's exactly what I'm feeling when I'm doing the upward-facing dog also. Front firm, side soft. And, of course, this feeling of front firm, side soft is what I do in Nauli. This is a simple Kriya, in other words. Now we move into the fifth and sixth position. Move from the core. So the core is the base of the lower back, L5S1. Move that part down and back and allow the shoulders to roll forward. Then lengthen the lower back, bring the shoulders forward and up, resetting the spine. Push the pubic bone up, bring the navel down, and prepare for the fifth and sixth movements, which are side lengthening. So lengthen the side of your body. Drop the hip, lift the shoulder. If comfortable, lift your elbow. Bring the shoulders apart, relax your throat. Bring the hands apart and check the neck is free, and check again. Fingers can move, shoulders can roll, neck is free, pubic bone can move, abdomen can breathe, and face relaxed. Now keep the left arm up, bring the right arm under the left arm up. Make the right arm as long as the left, and go pubic bone up, navel down. Now we lengthen the second side. Now drop the hip, lift the upper back, lift the shoulder. If comfortable, lift the elbow. Shoulders apart, relax your throat. Hands apart, check the neck is free, and check once again. Fingers can move, shoulders can roll, neck is free, pelvic floor can move, and the abdomen can gently breathe or roll, and you're calm. And hopefully you're getting warmth here. Then from this position, right arm stays up, left arm in front, and then keep the back long. Take the second arm up, and then arms forward and down. Soften the throat, face, and eyes. Now we begin the seventh and eighth movements, which are twisting of the spine. Start in a gentle forward bend, with again pubic bone under the collarbone, and keep your hips and head still. Move from your khanda, your lower abdomen, rotate it to the right and up, lengthening the back of the body. Now look over your left shoulder with the left ear lifted, and then from there keep the back long, push the hips forward and expand the front of your body. So now check that your sitting bones have dropped, so the back is lengthened, that your right hip has not gone back, bring it slightly forward, that your left shoulder is on the right side and your right arm open. Check once again, fingers can move, shoulders can roll, neck is free, pelvic floor relaxed, abdomen can breathe, and your face relaxed. Now to come out of the pose, keep your left arm where it is and move your core and your right arm back to the center, bringing right arm under the left, and then from that position, squeeze the heels gently outwards as you lift and lengthen the lower back, upper back. Keep it lengthened, expand the belly, chest, and move the shoulders back. Then gently squeeze the heels in and drop the hips, allow the shoulders to lift, and then bring the arms down. The eighth movement, twisting to the second side, back lengthen, twist to the second side, and look toward me with the right ear lifted. My back is lengthened, I haven't moved my hips, and my head is still looking towards straight ahead with the right ear lifted, chin in. Stay there, or now move to the next position, expand the front, and you lift the front. Look over the right shoulder with the right ear lifted, Check that your sitting bones are down, that your left hip is forward. So you've turned from your spine, but not the hips. And then from that position, check, fingers can move, shoulders can roll, neck is free, pelvic floor relaxed, abdomen can breathe, and face soft. Now keep your right arm where it is. Bring the navel and left arm under the right. Squeeze the heels out, lift and lengthen the lower back. Keep it lengthened. Expand the belly, chest, throat. Squeeze the heels in, allow the shoulders to lift and bend the knees slightly. Bring the arms forward and down. Squeeze the heels out, and we finish by taking the arms back up. And relax. And then arms forward and down. That was a simple 8 spinal movements. So I'm going to do it again. This time, we're going to do a bit extra and move the hips and knees if you want. It's optional. Like I said, you could do that sequence sitting on the floor. Let's do it again. So squeeze the heels out slightly and lengthen the lower back, upper back. Position 1, the short spine. Coming to position 2, the long spine. Stay here or push the hips down and forward. Optionally raise the heels. So you may need to look at the floor for balance. Stay here or bend the knees. Now the arms have to keep going high as the knees go down. How much you bend the knees is up to you. So you could go all the way down like Jennifer if you wanted to, but that's a lot more dangerous if you've got knee problems. So you could stay halfway down. So from this position, to make your knees more stable, squeeze your thighs in, push the knees out and lift the outer feet. Come back up, lower the heels, third position, pubic bone up, navel forward, collarbone down, turn the shoulders in. Expand the abdomen, throat forward, chin up, so you're looking straight ahead. Stay here. Or push the hips over the toes, stay or raise the heels, and stay or bend the knees as far as you wish. Protect the knees, squeeze your thighs in. Push the knees out, lift the outer feet. If you feel any tension in the knees, go down, don't go down further. Then from there, come back up, squeeze the heels out, expand the back, expand the belly, chest, chin in here, open the wrist, really extend the front of the wrist, and then from that position, stay or raise the heels. Stay or bend the knees and go down further, thighs squeeze in, knees push out, lift the outer feet. Then lower the heels and move the lower back backwards and down, and expand the back of the body. Expand the front and arms forward and down. Now we'll do the simple side bends. Lengthen the left lower back, lift left shoulder, optionally elbow also. Shoulders apart, hands apart, back lengthened, left side lengthened. Stay here, or if you wish, you can lengthen the left hip. Move the hips to the left side and take the weight on the left leg. With the right leg can be hardly any weight at all, and you can even gently turn your right leg to make it firm. Stay here. This position is very similar to the positions many people do in classes like that, and it teaches it much easier and simpler. Left arm forward and up past the ear. No gap if you can. Then from there, come back to the center and right arm under the left, both arms up, arms forward and down. And drop the right hip, lengthen the right back, lift the shoulder and elbow if you wish. Shoulders apart, hands apart. Keep the back lengthened, keep the right side lengthened. Stay here or move the hips toward the right side and lengthen right hip. Now here you can take all the weight in the right leg, and the left leg can just be there on toe tip. And you can maybe tighten the left leg if you wish, just to tone it a bit. Lengthen the right side, lengthen the back, expand the front of the hips, and check fingers can move, shoulders relax, neck is free, breathe into the abdomen. And what I'm doing here is my right side is soft, left side is firm, and that makes blood flow very effectively. Left side for me is now 32 degrees. Right side goes to 37 degrees. Just by the posture, it helps blood flow. Right arm stays up, bring the left arm down, both arms up, and both arms down. And soften the throat, face, and eyes. Squeeze the heels gently out, lengthen the back, and turn to the right side, lengthening the back of the body, spine, not hips. Expand the front of the body, move the hips forward, and look over the left shoulder, left ear lifted. Stay here where the legs are quite safe, or the next movement is optional to move the hips. Not for everyone. You have to be careful for your knees. Push the hips forward and optionally twist the hips to the right side. And here, feel the right heel wants to squeeze in, and that will firm the right thigh, keeping it safe. Keep the back lengthened, left shoulder to right, but look over the left shoulder, left ear lifted, and breathe naturally into the abdomen. And this position, stay there, this position is like all the poses which include twisting. So this gives you a simple version of a simple twist. Now bring the right arm under the left. Gently squeeze the heels out, lift and lengthen the lower back, upper back. Expand the belly, chest and throat. Squeeze the heels in, drop the hips, allow the shoulders to lift up, forward and down. And prepare for the second side. Back, lengthen, twist to left, hips stay still, head stays still. Move the hips forward, front, lengthen, twist to left. And look over the right shoulder, right ear lifted. Keep the back lengthened. Stay here, or the hips and knees are quite safe here. You could stay here, or if you wish, we move the hips, but be cautious for the knees. Move the hips to the toes, turn the hips, and gently feel the left heel wants to squeeze in, so do that until the left thigh feels firm. Back lengthened, right side of the neck lengthened, and check fingers can move, shoulders can move, neck is free, the pelvic floor relaxed and your tummy can breathe. Now bring the navel and left arm under the right. And again, squeeze the heels out, expand the back, expand the front, and drop the hips, let the shoulders lift, up and down. This is the second spinal movements we've done. Now we're going to combine the movements, a simple combination of the movements 1, 2, 3, 4. Expand the back, lift the shoulders up, keep the back expanded, then expand the front, push the hips and shoulders forward, then shorten the front. So it's a combination of forward bend, back bend, lengthening and shortening. I'll call them A, B, C, D. A, slowly lengthen the lower back, upper back, lift the shoulders, then perhaps lift the arms. Now B, push the pubic bone forward, expand the belly, chest. C, bend the knees and push the hips and shoulders forward, keep the arms up. D, bring down the arms and bring collarbone and pubic bone closer together. A, back expand, squeeze the heels out slightly. B, expand the belly, chest. C, hips and shoulders forward, squeeze the heels in slightly. D, shorten the front. One click means follow me, subject to feeling good. And 2 clicks means, or 3 clicks rather, means keep doing the movement. So when I make that sound of 3 clicks, it means keep repeating the pattern that we've created. And you can do it bigger or smaller than us. So if Jennifer just keeps doing it at that pace, that's a reasonable pace for most adults. But if you wanted to, you can make a much simpler version like me. So I'm doing a very, very soft version. And that's for you to do whenever you want to. Or I could be also taking my arms really high and low. Or I could take my hips really up and down. Or I could take my hips and arms up and down high. But how far you go is up to you. And what you want is not to feel labored or stressed, and that's different for every person. All right, so now I'm going to ask you to do one more combination. First of all, lengthen the back, go up, drop the hips, raise the heels if you can, and really straighten the legs for a few moments. You can even walk on one leg. Lower the hips, and then bring down the arms. Now we're going to combine side bending with twisting. Drop the right hip, lengthen the right side of the body. Then turn the navel to the right side to twist to the right. Drop the left hip, lengthen the left side of the body. Then turn the navel to the left. Drop the right hip, lengthen right side. Now twist the navel to the right. Hips and head stay still as you lengthen the left side. Hips and head stay still as you twist to the left. One click means follow me. So keep following me, subject to keeping the fingers lengthened but relaxed, the shoulders, neck and relaxed. And 3 clicks means keep going in this simple movement and keep the hips and head still. And just keep facing us, but I'm turning around so you can see that actually what's moving first is not my arms. You'll see my core or my belly is moving before my arms even move. And that's the aim, to move your core first before the belly. Now come back into synchrony once again. Go up, relax, Go down and we take that one step further to move the hips as well as we can. Lengthen the right side of the trunk, twist to the right. Lengthen the left side of the trunk, twist to the left. Lengthen the right side of the trunk. Optionally, lengthen the right side of the hip. Move the hips toward the right leg. Twist the trunk to the right. Optionally, move the hips to the right so the weight's on the right heel. Lengthen left side of trunk. Optionally, move the hips toward the left big toe. Twist the trunk to the left. Now optionally, twist the hips to the left so the weight's on the left heel. Trunk lengthen, hips lengthen, spine twist, hip twists. Trunk lengthen, hips lengthen, spine twist, hip twists. Bring the weight to the right big toe, weight to the right heel, weight to the left big toe, weight to the left heel. 3 clicks means keep doing the movement according to your ability. And what you're doing, imagine that your core or your tailbone or your navel was dropped onto the floor, then it would be making the pattern of a figure 8 or an infinity sign around your feet. So all the weights on my left leg right now all the weights on my right leg right now. And as you're doing this, you could make the movements really big, like Jennifer can do really big ones. She takes the arms high and the legs low, whereas I'm doing very gentle little ones, which are much more accessible. And notice again that my belly is moving before my hips or my shoulders. So my core is moving first. I'm moving actively, moving from the core, breathing naturally, and moving fluidly. Soften the throat, the face, and the eyes. Stay calm, stay focused, and as the arms go up, the weight can take all the weight to one leg. So when I'm going to one side, the other leg can relax. When I'm going to the other side, the other leg can almost come off the floor. You could even lift one leg when the weight's off the ground. And when one arm is up, the other arm is relaxed. As I tap my arm, I'm showing you it's relaxed. So when you take your arm down, really relax it. And keep the fingers able to move, the neck relaxed. And now come back to the first position, up, and then go forward and down. And what we're trying to do is build up energy. So we can test the energy, bring the palms closer together without touching, and see if you can feel heat between the hands. Now move the hands forward. Keep the fingers not touching, but see if you can feel the energy of the heat of the hands. Take the arms wider and higher. Now bring the arms down, still facing each other, but bend the knees slightly. Then bring the arms inwards. They come close, but not touching. Keep the fingers close. Move forward. Check the fingers can move a little bit. Take the arms wider. Check the shoulders are relaxed. Take the arms lower. Check the neck is free. Take the arms inwards and check that your face is relaxed. And as you get closer, see if you can feel not just heat between the hands, but also the blood, if it's in your hands, has an electromagnetic nature. So as you bring the hands closer together, you might feel almost like a magnet between the hands. And then pause and see if you can feel that magnet's there by bringing one hand up, one hand down. If you feel a difference when the hands cross, that's the energy within you. That's part of your prana. Now, we'd finish the practice by coming back to this first position, bend the knees slightly, and check the back is lengthened, front of hips lengthened, the shoulders are apart, and the fingers lengthened. Check pubic bone down, lift the front, and stay here like Jennifer is, or make it easier and lower like me. And then we're going to sit for a little bit or stand for a little bit. You could be sitting. And we just be in a meditative place by allowing everything to relax. Check fingers can move, shoulders relaxed, neck is free, pelvic floor free, abdomen soft, breathing like it is when you're asleep, forget the breath, and face soft. Now for a moment, be still and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, stay here and just focus for a few moments. I'm about to turn on some music, and we'll do the same practice again, taking about 10 minutes to do it. And I want you just to follow our clicks and movements, less or more than us, follow. And when you're following, think the purpose of your practice. to move good energy and loving information inside your body. And how are we going to do that? By tensing less, stretching less, breathing less, thinking less, and by moving actively from the core with natural breathing and flow. So let's begin with a short chant from the Bhagavad Gita about the meaning of yoga. Chant or hum with us. Ma paleshu karachana, ma karma palehetu, ma te sango swakarmani, yogastaha kuru karmani, sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, siddhya siddhyo samobhutva, samatvam yoga uchyate. Aum. Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much. Ira, are you still there? And,
Yes, I am. I am.
and Geeta, are you still there? Is
Yes.
everything okay?
Yes. It was a
I tried
beautiful
to
class,
finish.
Simon.
God
Yes,
bless
you
you.
were
Thank
bang
you.
on time. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a beautiful class, very energizing. Thank you so much. We have a couple of questions coming up on our
Certainly.
live feed. Yeah, so we just have like 2 minutes to go, but then,
I'll be as quick as I can.
so yes. So Shruti is asking, what advice would you give to people who want to start yoga and have no idea where to start?
If you like, I can send you a link to a Dropbox where you could learn a simple sequence like this after teaching for 38 years and practicing for 50 years and being a physiotherapist for the last 25 years. I found that if people begin with a practice just like this, it's a really good introduction. And then from there, once you're comfortable with this, it can progress to whatever you like. But I'm happy to leave a sequence like this for you if you have a place I can post it
That'll
for
be,
them
yeah,
and
that'll
they
be
can practice
wonderful.
something
Thank you,
like
Simon.
this. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you. And so Atul Srivastav is asking that the yoga synergy method, the style that you just did, is it adapted from Patanjali yoga? Is it a patented method? He wants to know.
This is just the most beginning part of our sequence. What I've given you there is the first few minutes of a much longer yoga synergy sequence, which looks more like a Ashtanga Vinyasa practice. But yes, I mean, if you look at the Patanjali system, we're looking for yama and niyama, and you want Sthira Sukham Asanam, meaning be firm but calm in your asana. It says after that sutra, it says that you want to be able to do this for a long enough time that it becomes effortless. And then once that's done, then all dualities will cease. Then you're ready for pranayama. So this part that I've given you is just a simple posture. It's not an asana. These are sthanas. Sthanas, which means, standard places. Seated postures are not that good for most modern people who sit on chairs all day. But I'm giving you a posture, a set of postures where you can find them to be sustainable, engaging, calming, effortless, and it makes blood flow. So I think this is as close as I can give the Patanjali Sutra in action to the modern body, who is not really suited. If they're sitting 5 to 15 hours a day already in chairs, they're probably not going to get that much benefit from doing an hour's seated practice every day. Although there's nothing wrong with sitting, but I do recommend moving a bit each day as well. So I think, yes, it is similar. And it's only the beginning of the Yoga Synergy sequence. Thank you.
I think, Simon, we'll have to end the session. We are running out of time, but thank you so much. Thank you for your time. It was a beautiful practice. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
It is my honor and privilege to have a chance to share something with the beautiful people of India who have given me so much. I've probably traveled to India more than 25 times now. I've probably lived there for more than 5 years. And whatever I've learned came from you. So I thank you and all my wonderful Indian teachers and friends. Because every Indian person is a teacher to me. So thank you very, very much. Love you all. Share good energy and loving information to you, to Ira, and Kush, to everyone. Thank you very much for having us.
So much. Thank you. And to all the lovely audiences who have joined us for this session, please stay tuned in. We have some amazing sessions coming up. Ira is coming up with Sister Shivani, so please stay tuned in. And please show your love. Please donate. Go to our Facebook page and donate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sun. Thank you.